You have entered the realm of the truth. Mickey the truth. If you tell it, know what it is. If you clean, then clear your name. Whichever way it go, it'll definitely be the truth.
Yeah, they be like, who is this Mickey Truth girl? Who qualifies her to put a work on these people?
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Mickey Truth, aka the Queen of Paperwork, and I am back with another video. As always, all information contained in this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. All information used in this video is per the Fair Use Act, and any conclusion that you draw is on you, not me. So let's get it. Woo, let me tell you, I come back and it's all types of stuff going on. However, y'all already know we're going to get to the business. Let's start off by just saying they have officially filed an affidavit for failure to comply for Cortland Henry, aka YNW Bortlen. Okay, it does say that the pretrial service specialist, who being first duly sworn, says that Henry Cortland Melly here in after referred to as defendant was on August 19, 2021, placed on pretrial services for the offense of count 1, murder, first degree with deadly weapon, count 2, murder, first degree with deadly weapon, count 3, accessory after the fact, count 4, accessory after the fact in the Circuit Court of Broward County in accordance with all the rules and regulations hereon. The pretrial specialist further states that the defendant has not properly conducted himself but has violated the conditions of release in a material respect by violation of condition 4 pretrial services supervision agreement by failing to obey all city, county, state, or federal laws, and that in Miami-Dade County, Florida on October 2nd, 2023, the defendant was arrested on a Broward County warrant charging him with witness tampering as evidenced by Broward County jail arrest, and then it gives the number. Now, as his lawyer allegedly provided to the Sun Tentio, I think, or the news station, that he felt like this was going to be used to revoke his bond. Well, he's right? Now the thing is, originally some of the details are old, meaning they had that in paperwork prior to October 2023. However, as we saw in Melly's arrest paper for the temporary witness, their alleged stuff was happening in 2023. So that's going to definitely be a little hurdle for the defense to argue to try to get this violation overturned if that's what they choose to do. Now, I'm going to tell y'all now, I'm going to break these videos down because it's so much going on. However, we're going to get to the business, okay? This is the official warrant to arrest for Cortland Henry. Now, just like with YNW Melly, they add a lot of details from the actual murder case into the case for tampering with a witness. So we're going to skip over some parts, but again, count 1 is witness tampering, and that's actually the only count for this. Now, what I'm going to say is they have said no bond, which I'm not surprised because, again, he was already out on bond on serious charges. Now, let's skip through this. It tells the information about the person asking for the warrant. We're not going to get into all that. Now, like I said, probable cause. It starts back on October 26, 2018, which is going to be the double murder. So, again, we're going to skip past that, okay? Now, what I will say as we go down some to about... All right, so we're going to go about right here, okay? It says a search warrant was requested for the Snapchat accounts of Demons. The warrant was reviewed and later approved by Judge Orlando. The direct messaging of Snapchat account of Demons revealed he was communicating with his girlfriend on November 9, 2018, just 14 days after the homicide. And he stated, "This ninja saved my life. He coming every way with me because if them crackers come grab him, it's my fault. You forgot I keep Bortlen with cuz at the end of the day, he did one of the realest shit in my life." These statements reference Demon's loyalty and association with Henry. They also suggest that Henry was loyal to him because he is the one who drove the bodies to the hospital and dealt with the law enforcement. These statements also support the belief of law enforcement that Demons is the shooter, and the evidence leads back to him. Any further corroboration by Henry would be damaging to Demons. This warrant also reveals there was no communication between Demons and Blank on October 26, 2018, as previously stated to law enforcement by Blank. Now, y'all may be like, what's all the blank, right? Well, let's start with this. October 26, 2018 is the night of the murders. Also, it is alleged, right, that Melly contacted Withers via Snapchat. That's why they said it's no evidence showing communication between Melly and Withers the night of the murder. But again, this was in the original search warrant. And what I did today was make sure I brought up the original search warrant so that we can go back. And if you look here, and as y'all, well, hold on, what page is that? 16, because I want to make sure I show y'all. This is the original one filed back in 2019. So if we go back down to page 16 where I was, search warrant was requested for Snapchat. So it's the original thing. Okay. It's like I told you, Withers was the person that they blanked out. So again, this is not new information. However, in my opinion, this is the way the state is trying to save the case amongst all other things that got going on by applying information that was from the original investigation into the probable cause for the witness tampering, because I feel like they possibly think it's a possibility this murder case is going to go to shambles. However, by putting it together with the witness tampering, because again, whether Melly or Bortlen is found guilty or not guilty on the murder cases, witness tampering is going to be witness tampering, because at the end of the day, even if they're found not guilty, it still was a witness associated with a case that is being assumed to be tampered with. So that charge still sticks. And you can still get serious time, I believe up to life, for this charge. So again, I just feel like it's a way for them to save face. If all shits go to hell on the murder case, they still can come in with the witness tampering. But again, all information just implied in a new search warrant. So let's go back over to the new one. All right, so now it says blank is commonly referred to as blank in messages by demons. For example, on October 12, 2018, demons contacted co-defendant Cortland Henry via messages and asked him to go to blank address in blank and referred to it as blank house. Cortland Henry was saved as a contact board in the phone used by demons seen below. And we recall these messages because, again, they showed them at trial. So this is, again, information that they already had. Now, I can slide back over to the other one. All right, so we go back to the original one. Now, the original one goes straight into the documentary, okay? So, with that being said, the new one added the text messages this go around. Now, in my opinion, the reason why it wasn't in the original one, because they didn't have all this back then, okay? But now they do. But if y'all see here, the 21-minute documentary, same thing from the original arrest affidavit. Same thing. They're just adding new stuff, but it's the same information, right? Then it also goes on to talk about the Instagram warrant authorized for his IG. Now, again, pay attention. Remember that? I did that. Shh. That is what they mentioned in the first trial. So again, y'all, old information. However, now they're adding it in the new arrest warrant, again, in my opinion, to save face. So we keep going. Again, these were brought up in trial. Now, one thing I will say, it's so many documents, and I may have to review my original live when I first broke down the YNW Melly case. However, I believe these have already been out, but don't hold me to that. But I do know they talked about it at trial, the first trial, okay? Now, it then says, Blank gave 2 sworn statements to law enforcement during the course of the investigation. Her mother, Blank, also gave a sworn statement to Detective Moretti. In the statements, Blank and Miss Blank indicate that Jamel Demons completed a video call to Blank in the early morning hours of October 26, 2018, stating that he just involved in a drive-by shooting. They also indicated to the defendant used the phone number ending in 9807. Miss Blank then called the defendant's mother, Blank. This is corroborated by phone records showing Blank calling Blank, and then Blank calls Mr. Demon phone repeatedly without any answer, then switches to trying to contact Mr. Demons via Instagram. So you may be wondering, like, who is all the blanks? Well, let's see if it's in the original arrest warrant so that we can fill in the blank, right? Well, let's take a look here. Okay, so if we go over to, again, it's so many documents, but if we transition over to this document, which is the actual arrest warrant application, the affidavit, right? And we go down to page 10. Again, this was filed February 13, 2019. If you don't recall, that's when the arrest happened for Bortlen and Melly. Okay. And as it said right here, if you start by saying, boom, boom, in an interview with the mother and girlfriend of Demons, both stated that after shooting, Demons called them via FaceTime and stated he was victim of a drive-by shooting and his two friends were killed, thus placing him on the scene at the time of the incident. The mother of Demon's girlfriend also stated when she witnessed the FaceTime call, it appeared Demons was outside and hiding, waiting to be picked up. This is also consistent with the cell records of Demons. It should be noted that Demons was in possession of his phone before the incident, during the incident, and after the incident. This was also corroborated by cell phone records obtained in this case. So again, all information put together for the new charge of witness tampering. Now again, a lot of this, if you notice, is not per se witness tampering. We haven't even heard anything about the actual witness tampering, but it's a bigger thing at play here, in my opinion. And by tying it all together, it makes for a stronger probable cause. All right, let's continue on. So now it goes into saying for the gang enhancement, right? So again, they go into details about Melly being in jail, have not been out since he was arrested, okay, in 2019. Bortlen being out twice or whatnot. Now, key thing again, like I said on the Melly video, Mr. Henry has been court ordered to have no contact with any of the civilian witnesses, directly or indirectly. Okay, and this is per the June 1st, 2020 order in his murder case. Okay, is not allowed to have contact with Jamel Demons. Now, I will say this. I do not know the actual Florida statute for that, but if the wording is not saying directly or indirectly, I don't know if they can actually say he had contact with Melly, right? Because it's technically a whole nother person delivering a message. But nevertheless, he did actually speak with Melly. Now, as far as the witnesses, again, it's outlined saying indirectly or directly. But for Melly, it doesn't say it. It says just no contact. So I don't know if that's going to stick that part, but nevertheless, it's still damning for sure. Okay. Now, it goes into just like they did with the Melly affidavit. The witnesses were listed for witness state of Florida in the initial discovery on April 9th, 2019. Okay. And we went over a lot of that in, guess what, the Melly video. And as I stated, it's definitely, in my opinion, going to be Mariah Hamilton and Felicia Holmes, because again, I showed y'all the paperwork that Felicia Holmes was located in the U.S. Virgin Islands and that. Now, what y'all may not know is that, let me read this part first. Blank sent screenshots of an Instagram conversation to Detective Moretti showing that Cortland Henry, while he was out on bond the first time, had engaged in some communication with Blank. Below are the 6 screenshots that were sent from Blank to Detective Moretti. And it goes into this. Now, I see a lot of people is thinking this is new information. This is not new information. Now, I do not believe they have previously released the actual screenshots of the messages. However, in the deposition of Felicia Holmes, they bring it up. For the sake of time for this video, I'll do her deposition again. However, I just couldn't find it before I recorded, okay? But what I can tell you is this. If you go back and look at Detective Moretti transcript for his deposition, it is brought up there. And I can switch over real quick, all right? So, again, this was back on, let me remember what page, because this is a long one. This is 134 pages. Okay, this was March 17, 2022. All right, this was before the trial. And I think I lost. Okay, here we go. So it says they stated that Mariah received the FaceTime call first. The mother heard her daughter screaming, and then so she ran to the aid of her daughter at their house that's in Cocoa. And that's where, you know, the two of them engaged in FaceTime conversation with Mr. Demons using his phone. And the question was, and so Miss Holmes was able to say she saw Mr. Demons on screen. Answer, yes. Question, and she was familiar with him from prior encounter. Answer, yes. Okay. Now, again, that's why I told you it is so important, right, to pay attention to why Felicia Holmes and Mariah Hamilton is so important to this case. Because phone evidence is good. But when you have an actual person saying, hey, I was on the phone with this person, and you're able to pin that conversation to the phone records, it makes it even stronger. And again, this also includes Fredo Bain, which was, again, this was back in March 2022. All right. Now, let me see if I'm able to see if he speaks on Bortlen on this one. So give me 1 second. Let me see. All right, if you look here in this deposition of Detective Moretti, he then says, right, he says this, we received, was private messaging between Mr. Demons and Miss Hamilton. And these were messages that Miss Hamilton also later confirmed in her sworn statement. There was a couple messages, one with something about Cortland Henry is going to go everywhere with him because if them crackers get him, it's going to be his fault. And there was some other message about, I'm trying to think here, that Cortland Henry did one of the realest things for him ever, so he's going to go with him. Now, it says, so it was two significant private messages between Mr. Demons and Miss Hamilton. Okay, when you look at these chats, it's coming from one phone to another, correct? And they say correct. And if I have your phone, for instance, I could chat with, let's say, Mr. Hadid, correct? Answer, correct. So again, it goes on to say, as you can see, I'm not too keen on social media. When you say Melly sent this, you're assuming that he is the author of that. Answer, well, I mean, at this point, I don't think it's really an assumption. When Mariah Hamilton confirmed that she's the one that she received it from him, she said it was him who she was talking to. In other words, Mariah Hamilton will be the one to make that statement that she received it from Melly. And the technical already says correct. So again, this is why it's so important, why she's so important to the overall case. Okay. It then goes into the same information that I went over already in the Melly video in regards to the witness tampering part. But you see, we're on page 19 of 40, and we're just getting into the witness tampering. We went over a lot of the original arrest warrant. I'm telling y'all, in my opinion, they're tying it in to make that case stronger because this is probably about to go to shits. Now I'm not going to go into all detail because we have went through this already. However, let's take a look at what's new. Now, in this particular arrest warrant, they actually showed the phone book notes. Remember, they had the names. It's an awful picture, but they have the names there, right? More pictures of it. So it's crazy to me that they kept notes. I still say that they kept notes on this, okay? And they go on. Now, a lot of y'all was like, they reference Rihanna and ASAP Rocky. They do. Because as you can see here, it says on April 24, 2023, Mr. Demons again referenced Blank by calling her ASAP Rocky's baby mama. Popular recording artist Blank has been in a relationship with another recording artist as ASAP Rocky, which is Rihanna, right? The conversation begins with a message directed to Blank, the defendant's mother, to tell her not to cooperate with law enforcement in regards to some suspicious threats that she reported to counsel for the defendant and the Honorable John Murphy. Ms. Blank subsequently declined to participate in the investigation regarding the supposed threats that were made to her. The threats and subsequent lack of cooperation was discussed in open court on April 24th and again on April 25th. The conversation about Ms. Blank again mentioned her and told Mr. Henry to make sure ASAP Rocky baby mama is in the Maybach and she stays that way. Ms. Blank did not appear for the trial of Mr. Demon. So again, if you don't recall, it was threats made to YNW Melly's mom. It was over all the blogs on the trial. So again, it's just adding all the breakdown. Okay. Now, as far as these pictures, these are the GPS points of each state for Mr. Henry, showing that he was at home. That's why they're assuming or alleging that he had to be communicating with Mariah Hamilton via another phone that he had access to. Okay. Now they're going into the drug thing. So again, this is mostly what we already went over in regards to Melly's arrest warrant. Okay. Now let's go a little bit further again. It says on September 22nd. Now we already went over this, but a couple things have came out, and I'm like, well, I wonder who this person is, because it says an interview of a gang member being housed at Broward County Jail. The subject stated that Jamel Demons was controlling the facility with narcotics and all that. Remember we said that. And it continues to say like what he did, as far as the paper and lace paper, let me be exact, lace paper, in form of legal documents from attorneys. Okay. Now, and as you can see, Robert Allen, if you do not recall who Robert Allen is the reason why DJ Academic started the Truth Teller. Robert Allen is the person, the key witness, and one of the co-defendants in the XX Tashion murder case. Okay. He told from point A to point Z in that case. Now, I don't know what, if anything, that Melly would have said to him to make it significant for him to come. But if he said anything to him, I promise you they're going to believe it, because, again, he just sent 3 people to prison for life, okay, for taking the stand. So I hope he wasn't that reckless with doing that, okay? Now, another thing is, of course, they have a lot of the same people on the list. Nakia Bagley, as I stated, she will be important because, again, she is the one who came forward to the police to say, hey, Willis told me this, which then led to more evidence to get that arrest warrant for Melly originally, okay? Also, you still have, let's see here, Jameson Francois is still listed, Fredo Bang is still listed, Travion Glass is still listed. Also, let's see, Mariah Hamilton is listed twice for some reason. Don't know why, but yeah. Now we got some new, and Felicia Holmes is still listed, but we do have some new people, which is James Howard, who is located at the Broward County Main Jail, which is one of the people allegedly delivering messages. Jeremiah Howard, okay. Well, now, is it James or is it Jeremiah? But nevertheless, James and Jeremiah Howard, both located at the jail, are on here. And I think it's important to note who's in jail that still is listed as a witness, because again, it is a snitch. Who the snitch is, they don't say. But nevertheless, that would be important. Terrence Mathis, which is a co-defendant in the tampering case. Now, again, just because they're listed does not mean they actually are going to testify. It just means they do have substantial information that could help with the case. They have Jacoby Mills listed. Now, he did not come the first go around. Don't know if he'll come this go around, but he was one of the passengers in the other car, right? He's also the one who had that meeting with detectives in regards to Bortlen showing them where the guns at, and him actually saying, Track, take the guns away from the scene. Okay. Danny Polo is still on there, and Track's wife is still on there. The family members of the decedents are still listed. So pretty much Withers is on there, which, as I told y'all, Withers still has a warrant. So I don't know how that's going to play out, but nevertheless, nothing to do with this case. But they do have an updated address for him, and he's no longer in Florida. That makes sense. Get the hell up out of there. As I stated, all this information is what they already had. They're just adding it in with the new details of the witness tampering. And again, I still say convenience is the key to this right now, right? How it's coming out at this moment in time. But we have more to discuss. So I'll be dropping another video soon. Hopefully this will answer your question in regards to the YNW Bortlen arrest. So until next time, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, tell a friend to pull up on your girl Mickey Truth. And as always, go over to MickeyTruth.com and get you that merch, because you know your girl stay with that work. So until next time, holla! You rappers ain't safe.